Okay, so I'm trying. I think I've sorted out the settings so that the game audio should not be overpowering my voice now. This is my attempt at the second scenario, Fahrenheit 451, and as you can see here, I've not really attempted this one yet. So in my last video, I recorded my attempt at the 4-star one and I did it. I might go away and do the 2 and 3-star ones myself just so I can get the achievement for doing all 4 stars, but that's going to be off camera. So for this one, in the comment section under that first scenario, someone suggested that I have a go going in blind to the other scenarios. So the way I would do that would normally be to try 1 star just so I can understand kind of what to do and to see the kind of flow with what's likely to happen. But as it stands, it looks like people suggested that I try and going in at 3-star or 4-star blind, which, you know, I could very much lose that. And I don't know whether or not people would enjoy me uploading something that would be a 3-star or 4-star loss just going in blind. But this is what someone suggested underneath the comments, and given that, you know, I'm making these videos for people in terms of, you know, information, that might be what they want. So let's read what we need to do. I'm going to try it, I think at 3-star first, because at 4-star you suddenly have the extra condition, and I think just going in blind at 4-star with all of that involved is almost guaranteed to end up a loss. So I'm going to at least go in and see what's going on at 3-star, see if I can do it. So just for context again, I'm someone who's played a fair bit of Gaia Project in person, interpersonally. Almost always is at 4-player. I have a board gaming group who meet somewhat regularly, and we've played Gaia Project on and off for the last few years, since about 2018. Obviously the pandemic threw a spanner in that works, but for the most part we've played, I would say, roughly once a month on average since then. And so I've played a fair number of games. I wouldn't consider myself a pro because, you know, I only play with basically the same set of people. So I haven't kind of diversified strategies. I could very well have fallen into certain play patterns that might not be optimal for some of these scenarios. Just they're what's worked for me and within my group. So in terms of this scenario, something that's already striking me here is the victory condition is basically antithetical to how I kind of played this game. So I have to have no research above level 2. So the dark line in the center of the research, I'll get to that when I get in, but there's a dark line in the head of the research which gives you 3 power if you surpass. I'm not allowed to go above that line, and that is the victory condition here, which kind of seems very scary to me because that's also where a lot of points come from, because for each step you are above that line, you get 4 points per column, or like per track you are above that line. So you can get, you know, somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 points if you're really high on science, but usually somewhere in the region of 20 odd points for science, and I'm going to be denied any access to that. And there's only one upside that I can see, which is there is a technology tile, so a tech tile, that lets you trade 4 credits for 8 points. Now, I don't know if that's you can just do that any number of times, or if it's a coverable action. If it's a coverable action, then you kind of want to get that as early as you can, so that you can get access to the ability to, I guess, trade things over, you know, for as many rounds as you can. Because if it's a coverable action, then you can only do it once per round. And so leaving it late means you're not getting access to those victory points very frequently. So 4 credits for 8 VP is pretty good, especially because my science is going to become useless later on in the game. And with science becoming useless, science can become credits, and then credits can become points. So effectively, I can turn 4 science, I would say, into 8 points, which is a better ratio than going above that line of getting 4 science for 4 points. So that's kind of how I'm reading that. But we have to think, going in, what are the ways that I can earn points during the game to make sure I can actually win this game? So the first way I can think about it would be to have a bunch of federations. Pardon me for that gap. I just sneezed. Yeah. So a bunch of federations. And then you would have a... which is possible with Ambas because they get to move their PI around, so they can make more federations more easily. Doing the round scoring very well, and having pass tiles that let you score. So that's going to be how you have to score. So using this extra ability of turning 4, I'm going to say 4 science into 8 points, because the money is going to be useful for building stuff out, but effectively converting our science into money so that we can, whenever I would take a science tech move kind of from the mid-game onwards, turning that into 8 points is kind of how I'm going to kind of imagine it works. And then, round booster tiles, round scoring, and federations. They're going to be the 3 things that we need. It also says that you cannot deny a research advance if it's ever possible, which means that building the science buildings, so the research labs and the academies, is going to become less of a thing that we want to do once we've taken a couple of the tech tiles. So this tech tile is going to be a must. We definitely need to take this tech tile just so we can get some points. And maybe the 4 pip for big buildings, just to make that Ambas ability go a bit further, to get those federations in play. And then, yeah, we'll see what we can do from there. So I'm going to click play, and then let's have a look. So, okay. So we're first player again. We're considered first player in this again. So already I can see a big issue with this. So here you can see that these brown planets are pretty far away from one another. And that's, it's annoying, but if you're playing a normal game, it's not usually the biggest concern, because you can just go up the navigation range track and try and make sure that you've mitigated that problem. What you might do is try and get to the 4th, get 4 range, and if you've got 4 range, then you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can kind of go here, and then once you're here, you can go to there and there fairly easily, and then from there to there, you can kind of hit that green planet in the interim. As it stands, when I say you can go here, it's because if you get to the 4 range track, you also get the hidden planet, and that can kind of be a way of moving around. So it's important to know which factions we're against, and I can see that we're against Terrans, which is blue, so we're going to have likely a neighbor here or here. This is less likely, but the AI have confused me before with their placements. We've got Xenos, which is less good for us because that's one of our neighbors. So some of our easier digs, so here, 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 they're going to be harder to basically appear on. But I am going to want to come here. The Xenos have a 3rd mine at the end, so that they can always block this, even if I don't start over here. So the reason I want to go here is I can just see off the bat there's a 2 range thing here and a 2 range thing here, and I can get to 2 range, and I start off with an extra quick on my first turn. So I can go kind of pop and kind of do that on my first turn just to get some mines out on the board. I'm trying to think what else I can do. Because, yeah, that's already 3 away, so you'd have to use a quick to do that. And that's just quite far away. So we're against Xenos, and then we're against Hajhalis, which is red. So, I mean, here is definitely one of the best bets if I want Leech, because I'm likely to have at least one of these 3 planets occupied, because we've got red, yellow, and blue in the game, and so we've got those 3. That's kind of going to be a Leech area. Then I've got this, which is probably a good Leech zone, because I've got red and blue, both within 2. And this one is, similar, but I would say this has less access to kind of good planets, I suppose, because this lets me jump to here with if I get a free dig and a quick. So if I have a quick, I can use the free dig to go there if I can get access to it in the actions here. So speaking of how things work, let's have a look at the round boosters. Okay, so probably want to build a bit. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. So I want to get all of my tech moves done before the end of round 4. I don't want to be doing any whatsoever in rounds 5 or 6. That's really interesting. Obviously, this is a scenario, so these don't exist in the base game of Gaia. That's just really interesting to me. I see there's 3 different round booster scoring tiles. I'm going to want to take one of those if I can. Most rounds, I'm going to be, round 1, I want this, probably. If I'm planning on building a big building, get points for building a big building twice over. Second round, I probably want this, gets points for building these. And then third round, I probably want this to kind of double dip. Though, if need be, I can do that because I would be building mines on those planets anyway. So either of these rounds getting this would be useful. And that's where I can dip onto those things. However, if I need to, in terms of resources, getting either of these 2 won't be terrible because this will help me extend my range to get that bit further. And giving me that money would just be handy because early on in the game, I'm going to be probably quite low on money. If I go for that big building, it's going to be tough to get money early because I won't have. I think after round 2, it might be a bit better because I'll have this. I'm less likely to want to upgrade to too many research labs. So once I've got my PI out, and once I've got a couple of these out, I'm probably going to have my economy in terms of money sorted. Then it's going to be about just building as many of the mines and trading posts as I can. Let's have a look at where that tech tile is. Okay, it's here. Thankfully, these 2 are... I actually think these 3 tech tiles are the ones that I probably want. So this will sort out my economy to help fund this, basically. So this will fuel that. And that way science becomes money. So but that's kind of how it can work. And this will help making a federation easier. So these 3 are probably my best bets for that kind of thing. I'm just trying to think. I'm not allowed to go above this line. I've started one up here, which means that I can only get 1 movement up here. So if I ever want this 4 type token, that has to be my first take, and I have to get that before I go up there, which is really asking a lot from me because given the map, if I go back to the map, you can see that navigation range is just vital for me. Getting up to 2 means that if I can get a free dig and that's not yet taken, I can just land there. And that's just massive because that suddenly opens up a huge number of options to me because it puts that within quickable range. It puts that, it puts that within quickable range, which then that's mineable. This is in quickable range. This is in quickable range. Using a quick to settle on these green planets. All of that becomes really viable once you have 2 range. You've got 2 range, and then I can go to either here or here with 2 range with a free dig. Once I'm here, I can go here and then here. Like 2 range seems incredibly, incredibly valuable. Because also from here, I can go to here, because again, that's a free dig away. Or a single dig away, and I'm looking at those single digs because I'm never going to be, unless I can get the action for the double dig, I'm not going to be looking further astray than that because everything's just going to be far too expensive because I'm never going up to this single ore dig. So yeah, this is going to be really tough. This is, like I said, antithetical to how I normally play Gaia Project. So I just really need to think about how I'm going about doing this because I also need to think about how I'm going to be using my occasional dips into this. So what I might do is, I don't know, take that and then that. So that way I have access to quicks better. I don't care about the science too much because I don't want to go up the science tracks. So giving up science early isn't terrible. So maybe at some point I'll be building this to help with federating. So having still only the 1 science income per turn doesn't matter to me. I don't want to go up that track very much. And that's a way of getting kind of 2 free track moves, but that's about as much as I want in this game. I can't use much science, so that's just all I really want. So I really need to consider how I'm doing stuff. So I probably use my first movement to get to range. I then will I'll probably take this and go up here, just so that I can start utilizing some income, because I'll need at least an extra ore and some money and some power gen per turn is going to be really handy. But that's all I'm getting. I can't get up to this kind of super valuable one here. So track 4 on this one is super valuable. In fact, track 4 on all of them is pretty good. You know, that's a technology per turn here. It's a an entire trading station plus some extra per turn here. This lets you Gaia form three planets in a turn. This gets you a nice big quick influx of quicks. This gives you your 3 range, and this gives you a nice influx of money. But importantly, and this is something that I think is going to be undervalued or like underrepresented in how low the scores I'm going to need to get, I'm likely to get, is that none of these tiles are available to me. Not a single one of these top tiles are available to me, because you can only grab them if you're in step 4 or step 5. And I'm not allowed to go above this line. So I genuinely cannot get access to any of these super tiles, which means I'm blocked from, if you saw in my last video, I got 15 points from this tile. Oftentimes you can get like 20 points from this tile. Oftentimes you can get a whole bunch of points from going up here, because you also get the immediate federation. This is really great if you can get it early, because then you can get 3 points maybe for the first point after your first pass, maybe then 6 points that the next time you federate, then 9 points. It can be worth a lot of points, 18 to 21, maybe 24 points across a game. This can usually be quite, I'm basically blocked from a lot of points, so I'm just verbalizing that probably about 15 to 20 points I'm being blocked from just because I can't take these. And then I'm also being blocked from another probably 16 to 20 points for not being able to go up these science tracks. So that's about 40 points that I need to make up elsewhere. Some of that's going to have to be here. I'm probably at some point going to have to take this tech tile. Just thinking about it, just for the points, like purely just for the points. Unless I think this one is more valuable for making an extra federation, because obviously every federation is going to be at least 7 points value. So I'm going to say that unless I think this is actually more valuable, unless I'm going to get an extra federation from it, this might actually be more valuable than that. But I need to time things correctly. I can't take this if I'm already on step 2, because then I cannot refuse a tech move. So yeah, this is really quite interesting to see. So I'm going in blind, so I'm kind of verbalizing all of my thoughts. I've already started at once. I'm only allowed a single move up there, and once I've done that, in theory, I could block myself from getting that ever, which feels bad, because this is one of the best tactiles in the game, but under normal circumstances. Here we can see the one that they've removed from the game is the 3 points for going on a green planet, which is a shame, because if you saw on the map, I was eyeing up a whole bunch of green planets, but it also makes Gaia forming this track here a lot less viable, because just going to here would have been interesting if it was the 3 points for a green planet, because it would be a way of making up points, but that's gone. So they've removed a point tile for a points tile, but they've actually potentially made it almost a slightly less valuable points tile, because it would have been an ability to turn building a mine, which is something you kind of want to do anyway oftentimes, into points. And now you have to spend resources that you don't necessarily want to spend otherwise into points, just converting 4 to 8. Great value. Instead of 3 to 1 at the end of the game, it's 4 to 8, which is brilliant value, but it's not, you're spending that money resource that you're not getting anything else out of it. Normally when you're spending resources in this game, you're at least getting something back for it, being it a building, or if you're spending quicks, you're getting points or something like that. Speaking of, it might be the case that these 2 actions are things that I have to consider taking if I can, just because that's going to be access to points. This one's going to be probably a no-no, because I don't want to get technologies, but these 2 are going to be important. This 4 and this 7 power action are going to be kind of irrelevant to me. The ones that I'm going to focus on are this free dig, as I mentioned, and these 2. And then occasionally this one, but I don't know how much power I'm going to have in this game. Yeah, this is tough. One thing that Ambas have on their side, I will admit, is that they have this extra ore. So unlike any other faction in the game, everyone else has either 1, all the 3 that we're playing against have the 1. Ambas have 2. So by base game, and especially after I place 2 mines, I will have 8 ore. Because I start off with 4, and then I get +2 plus another 2, because I'm replacing those mines. So I'll have 8 ore in turn 1, which means getting up to here is easy. All I need is a neighbor, and I have 9 money, 6 ore, and I'm good. So then I need to think, how am I extending my economy into the remainder of the round? So it's either build 2 more mines so that I can then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ore income the next turn, or see if I can build one of these and get ore income another way. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I guess the round bonus that I get will also determine, because I'm going first, I'm considered first, so I'm going to get last pick of these. And because I'm going to get last pick of these, I have no idea what the AI might choose. I don't know if it's seeded, so that they're always, when I say seeded, I don't know if they're always going to pick the same thing, or if they're going to pick something different based on where I place. Because if I place somewhere and that affects their behavior, obviously that means that further attempts of this might be able to, I might be able to kind of, I guess, push the AI in certain directions. This is what happens when you're playing blind. You have no idea what's going on. Interesting that its minimum technologies is here. So they're getting you probably 18 points here. So you want to be have the lowest number of tech moves is one of the endgame scoring criteria, which is, I think that's fairly nice of them. And the other one is get a number of satellites, which again, fairly nice of them, because Ambass are able to get a whole bunch of those out because of their ability. Once you've got the PI, which I'm going to try to get in round 1, because I want to be getting these 2 new tokens every turn to get those satellites out. But also, they have this coverable action, which lets them move their PI with a mine. So let's say I've already got let's just say I've got this tech tile for 4 pips, and those 4 pips are in that PI. So I've got 4 pips here, let's say, and I've got a 1, 2, 3 here. So that would be 1 mine, 1 mine, 1 mine, and 4 pips. That would be a federation right there, and that'd be really nice. And then I can go, oh, okay, well, I've got another mine over here, and I'm just going to scoot over here, and this PI is going to suddenly appear over here, swap with a mine. That's now still a federation. But it doesn't, once it's federated, it's still a federation. Doesn't matter that it's now only 4 pips. And then I've now got a new 4-pip building by itself over here, and I can then federate again over here, and then I could, jump across again, and then do the same thing over here, and then I could jump across again and try and do something similar over here. So that's how they work. And so getting 3 or even 4 federations with Ambass is possible, but that's usually where they get most of their scoring. And that requires that you do very well, for one, and requires that the AI doesn't block you in this instance. Normally it requires that the players don't block you, and oftentimes when you're playing with good players, they will block you, so you're only going to get 3. But especially when we've only got a single neighbor that we can't go, and we can't go up the dig track, so I can't extend further so easily. But yeah. Okay, so now that I've done that, that's a very, very big discussion about my opening thoughts about this. I need to think. Round 1, I'm absolutely building my PI. There's just no 2 ways about it. I need to find as many points as I can possibly get in this game, and that's going to be an access to points. So I need to think, how am I doing that? So I definitely need to get neighbors. I just need to have neighbors. And so the best way to have neighbors would be to go probably here and here. So I'm going to go here to encourage blue and red to come next to me, and hope that one of the... Okay, blue comes over here. So that's an easy one for them if they start in quick. Yellow starts there. Interesting. The red... Yeah, so AI, definitely... Okay, that's fine. I'm going to have a neighbor here. That's fine. I'm okay with that. As long as I've got at least one of mine with a neighbor. Okay, that's a shame. I can see why they've done it, but it's a shame because it means I can't get the free dig to there. I absolutely go there. I need a neighbor, and I've now got a neighbor, and that's fine. And then yellow probably comes here with their 3rd one, because they get a 3rd one at the Xenos. That's their bonus ability. Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm going to have 2 neighbors. 2 neighbors is fine because, okay, they've got the free dig. They got the range extender. They got the free dig even. What's the AI taking there? Okay, the new tokens. Okay, so I've got my pick of the bunch here. This is almost certainly what I'm going to take. But I do need to consider why that may or may not be sensible. So give me a moment. So this is really, really useful for so many reasons. The first of that being, I'm planning on building my big building anyway, so instead of getting effectively 5 points this round, I'm getting 9 points this round for it. And like I said, I need as many points as I can get this game, because I'm not getting them in what I would argue is like the traditional ways of going up the research tracks and grabbing these tech tiles. So I'm going to be going up here, or here. Suppose I can jump here. Oh, that's a real shame that they've got this, because I'm now at big risk of losing that planet, and that's a big deal. Losing that planet would hurt, and it's now quite likely, because they can just free dig to there with one of their quicks, and yeah, that can really hurt me. Or they could do it there. Again, that's going to be quite damaging to my game plan. But, you know, it is what it is. This is what happens when you've got someone who's only a 1 dig away from you. That can easily happen. And when you're last in picking a round booster, you know, it is what it is. It's a shame that Red didn't take it. I was hoping that Red would. They've taken the range extender, which definitely makes this play of the edge of the map less unreasonable. It's still not reasonable, because 1, 2, 3, they still can't reach that planet or that planet from there. So I just don't understand what has possessed them to do it. It still makes absolutely no sense to me, but, you know, that's AI for you. It does mean that I've not got anything here, any neighbor, which is really disastrous, I would say, for my game plan. I might end up getting a neighbor fairly soon, but there's no guarantee of it, and that's really tough. So if I can get the range extender, sorry, if I can get the free dig next round, I'll try and go here, I guess, using a quick, just so that I can just grab myself a neighbor. And once I'm here, then again, I'm a quick away from there. So they started with 2 quicks, so they can go there and go there, and or go there. Yeah, Xenos are definitely going to hurt me with that free dig. That there's no 2 ways about it. That's really hurt my game plan. I think I still need to go about getting myself this. If I go this, then I get a 3rd quick. Will the 3rd quick be useful? It lets me go there, and there just immediately. So it's 1, 2, 3. But then I think I need to take this just to help my points. It's really tough to say if that's the correct decision this early on, especially with AI playing. It's just tough to know what they're likely to do. Like I'm still so confused by this. On a hard AI, this is just nonsense. On an easy AI, fine, whatever. On a hard AI, I cannot see what they're doing. They've taken the range extender, and I cannot see a single good reason for that, because they have no range, they have no free planet to get to. So I think I go here. I hope for 2. I hope for 2 charge from red or yellow. Yeah, okay, so that one didn't seem unreasonable from blue, but now they're kind of isolated down here. Where are they digging? They have free dug there. I feel a lot safer. I feel a lot safer now. And they've taken the free dig there using their quick. Now, suddenly, things are a lot more sensible to me. I didn't get what I was hoping for, but yeah, so be it. So now that the free dig is gone, and now that they've used their free dig, I feel a lot safer about this. I don't need to rush this now. Yeah, I do not need to rush this. Everything's kind of safe now. I was very worried. I hadn't considered that they might go here. It's not a bad move. It means they haven't expended a quick. They can use quick for other things, like getting down here. I feel a lot safer about this. I don't need to rush this. That would have been my next play, is to immediately use a quick to rush and get this, especially because it's a way of getting this. But this is no longer under threat. So I'm kind of explaining my thought process, because it's 3 digs away from blue. It's 3 digs away from them. They don't have access to a dig anymore because they used it here. And but they don't have access to the double dig either. So I absolutely build this up now. So it means that I can get, if either of these two build now, I get 3 power instead of 2. Oh, he's just done a very expensive build there. Yeah, this is what happens if AI, like, it's, yeah, they should have just started near where I was, like, either here or here. So that they've used one of their quicks to get up there, which I said is the kind of thing that they might do. But again, this is not nearly as troublesome. And now I have a neighbor here. Right. So this has actually worked out for me. I'm going to, I think, I was hoping for one more power just so I can get money. But I'm going to be, I think I'm going to go here using a quick just to secure myself that location. And now I've kind of, I feel a lot safer now. So yeah, this is not a simple one. I still need to think where my money's coming from. I still need to consider, okay, yeah, they use their other quick to go over there. There's my 4th. Okay. So I didn't quite get as much power gen through this as I was hoping. That's, you know, so be it. It's not, you know, yellow's a wild card. They have just upgraded this. So I could have this disappear over here. This is far more likely to be my next federation, so I might do that. But for now, I definitely need to take the action. And I think what is more at stake here is money, because I don't have access to money next turn. You know, in the round booster I might, but I need money to build my trading posts next turn, so I just need to take that while it's available. Because they can take it from me otherwise. Blue passes because they spent all their resources being silly. Red has actually been more sensible than I thought they would. Okay, yeah, they've taken the 2 ore, which is a shame. I would have liked it, but so be it. And they have gone there, which is, again, a shame for me, but I only get the 1. But I could not risk this money going. So now I have a couple of options open to me. So here we can see building an extra mine does nothing for me right now. It doesn't actually get me anything. However, I need to think about, apart from kind of turn order. So let's have a look at the round boosters. If the Xenos pass and then they immediately take that, that's a shame. But the Xenos still have stuff to do. They've still got loads of resources. They've still got all sorts of stuff that they can do. I have no idea why they passed. They still had 4 science. The AI is confusing. It's definitely not quite like playing against a human player who would be at least a little bit more reasonable. You can usually predict, you know, within reason, you know, about 4 or 5 actions what they're going to do. You know, they have 1 from 4 actions rather than that, but passing when they haven't used their science in round 1 is unusual. In round 1, I definitely still want to be getting tech. It's only later on that I don't. I want to be in a position where taking that seems reasonable. Because, again, that's more access to money. Do I want to use my range extender now? Or do I want to get to 2 range now? It lets me put down 1 more mine. But putting down that mine doesn't do anything for me in terms of getting me more ore next turn. And I definitely want this. So getting this, if I have this ore +5 plus that, I can have a fair amount of points. I can get 3. Well, I've only got 2 mines actually, so I need to consider exactly where I am going to get my federation. So I've got 1, 2, possibly a third one there. Yeah, this federation's actually not going to be an easy one to make. I thought it might be, but now that I'm looking at it, unless I start Gaia forming this early, which is unusual for Ambas to want to do this early, and again, I would still need 2 range for that, so I'd need to use at least that. I'm just trying to think where to use my science, sorry, because this is an option, and early on, this is an option as a way of getting more power gen, because I'm getting 4 power gen per turn because I've got my big building out, so getting a 5th one can be useful. It's a way of getting some income as well. I'm just questioning myself, do I actually need that range this turn? Because one reason I would get the range is so that I can put a mine down here this turn. And the reason I would want to put a mine down here this turn is it then opens up the opportunity for me to then potentially get a 3rd trading post the following turn, because I would have 4. I could then pass on to I could then see about somehow getting either that or the 4 power for a 2 ore. Combined with this, I would only just need 3 power. So I have options available to me. The free dig, how useful is that going to be? I would need the quick to make the free dig worthwhile, either here or here. Either way, I would need the free dig to make that that quick viable. Oh, where do I use this technology move? This is not easy. Where are they going to move there with their science move? Where are they going to move with their science move? They've got so many options available to them at the moment. They've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, their economy is alive now. But they've got a very, very good start. This is the player to watch out for. I'm not quite sure how they've managed to do all of that without spending much. Or it's because they managed to get the 2 or button on the action with the power. Okay. I apologize. I know I'm thinking a lot, and it's still only round 1. But there's so much to consider because I'm only allowed to go up these technologies so infrequently. So I need to really think. I can't just choose one willy-nilly because it basically means I'm stuck out. I'm cut out of that for the rest of the game. So this opens up the opportunity for kind of some immediate gains next round. I do want this early. How do I fuel this? By going up here. Oof, this is hard. If I go up here now, then I get 2 into here at the start of next turn with still 2 new tokens. Do I jump across here? Is this likely to be a federation before over here? Actually, if I go up to 2 range, getting the free dig, if I get to 2 range, go here, free dig means I can go there. I think the 2 range is sensible, and I just cut off the 4. Yeah, it is a shame, but it means I can't ever get that 4 power button. Okay, they've gone up the economy track again. So they've gone up the economy track twice, I think. Nope, just the once. So they've 1 up there and 1 up there. Okay, they've not built any of their science buildings. Okay. And it is... Where did you go up? You went up the economy track and the science track. Okay. And you took that. Okay. So that's how you went up the science track. So yeah, they've got 2 ore, 3 power, and 2 money income. That's actually a very, very nice economy that they've got going already. Okay. I think I go here. I want to wait until they've passed. Preferably they've passed, but I'm never outlasting them. They've got so much ore and stuff. They've got so many things that they can still do this turn. It's just not happening. I'm not getting any power gem from them. They've decided that they're going to starve me a bit. That's fine. That's kind of what a player might do, though they are feeding. They're feeding over here. So I can stall a bit more by doing a shift. It doesn't change any of the maths. I can still get something if yellow upgrades that, and if red upgrades that. The only difference is would yellow upgrade that instead. If I think that this is more likely to be my next federation. So I've got... right, how am I doing this? So where am I swapping with this? Just to try and delay. Or do I keep the range available? Because I've got 2 range. So +3 can either get me to... can get me to here. So I've got 1, 2, plus 1, 2, 3. And it's a way of getting out over here within reason. It does mean that I would be foregoing they've passed on to that. Okay, they've been sensible. They've kind of done that early. That's fine. I can get 2 next turn no matter what. If I take this, I would kind of be happy with either of these, but this guarantees that I can actually get 6 power generated, which means I would have all 3 of these in the bottom bowl in this top bowl here, and something might get me that 4th one. Either something that yellow do this turn or not. They aren't being very friendly to me, but you know, they never were going to be. Because other people are definitely getting their economy online a bit sooner than me. It's a shame that I couldn't outlast them, but so be it. They had 2 more actions to do, so I was never outlasting them. So red do want to build some of their trading posts, so they'll probably do 1 here and 1 here. That's the reason I didn't want to move this over here. They've taken a double dig. Very interesting. If that was still available to me, I would have taken that, and then I would have been in very, very happy space, because then any single digs can go there as well as there, and then I could really, really utilize that. I didn't get any power, which is annoying. I suppose I do the basic thing and I upgrade this. I want to do it for the round points. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting them to destroy that many of their tokens for that free dig. That has surprised me. Maybe I should have seen it coming, but that is a real shame. That's a real shame for me. I finally got that 4th power. Wait, I've just realised that it charged them for me incorrectly. That's a shame. It should have asked me. That's a real shame. Did I miscalculate how much power I was generating? 2, 4. That's 6. I should have already had 3 in there. Oh, yes, of course. That makes sense. I only got the 1 there. Okay. Right, so my money economy is now back online. Yellow has still not given me a single bit of leech the entire game, which is nuts, really, just because they were the ones that were most likely to be able to. That's such a shame, because now I'm not going to be using this range extender. I really did not see that coming. I did finally, though, get this 2 for 3. Like 2 points for 3 power. And that's going to be important, because I absolutely want to, I think, take this so that I can use... Yeah. Is it thinking? Okay. So I can move this. And then next turn I'm going to want some mines. It's a real shame. I was really not expecting them to take that, because that would have been my next action. That is... I guess I go here. Or I can go here. I hadn't considered that. This, I think, leaves options for me in terms of the free dig, if it's there. This leaves that option available to me as a... I've already got that option as a free dig, so maybe I go here just to... Because this is less of a risk of being lost than this is, so... I've got 3, 4, 5, and I can get 6, 7 next turn, so long as I can get a quick. They have all passed. This could be upgraded to a big building, but I would be relying on just that. Here, I can still get more leech. I'm not going to jump. It's a shame I've not used the jump ability much, but that is, so be it. The reason I was hoping to go here, by the way, is because I would have some neighbours that I could leech off of. Now I've been denied that area, but thankfully areas on the map isn't kind of my be all and end all. I've got my 2 mines, so there's no point building a third. So this, somehow getting another one out doesn't do much for me. I've got my 7. Yeah, I think that's how I go. So do I pass on to... Yeah, Terrans have already passed on to that. I don't have access to a quick. So getting on that green planet is tough. But I can... That's fine. Getting onto the green planet is tough, but I can get the free dig from the card, from the bonus tile there. And then as soon as I can get to 4 power, I can make a quick, should I need to. And then I can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or even, actually thinking about it, I can make something with 6. I actually don't need that. Whilst it's the mine round and I want to get mines out, I can actually take the 4 pip buildings. I think gaining Federation tiles early is... I just need as many Federations as I can get this game. And using fewer building spots to do it early on is useful, because then I can jump around and make more Federations later. So having 4, 5, 6, 7, being able to do that and then jump around would be handy. So, yeah, I'm going to take this. Because that way I can't then be stopped to do exactly what I want to do. I've got enough ore now and money to guarantee myself this Federation. The only way that's lost is they double dig that, and I can't see them being able to do that, and so I should be fine. Gosh, this is a lot more difficult than I was expecting, and I'm playing very differently to how I might otherwise. Yeah, once again, they have not given me any leech the entire game. It is very unusual for me to experience no leech from an entire player during a game, in part because, obviously I've not got any from blue, but I wasn't expecting any from blue. But to not get any leech from 2 different players in the game is very odd. It has definitely meant that my game... Yeah, okay, so that one I did think was possible, but I wanted to be able to make this and then move it around. I want 2 for 1, because I need to kind of get as much as I can. 2 for 1 is pretty much the best value you can get in terms of stuff, because once you get into the 3 for 2 and 4 for 3, suddenly the points that you're losing out on can be quite tough. I'm going to be using my free dig to go here. Okay, so as discussed, I've now got my Federation here. As soon as I'm going to upgrade this to get the 4 pips for Federation, just now I can start getting points for doing that. Yeah, because it's too early, because my money economy isn't that great yet. It's too early for taking the thing. I want to probably take it next turn, however, the 4 money for 8 points. I need to take that sometime soon, just so that I can get into the area where I can win. So this is upgraded. I take... It's a shame that I can't take this, but I take this. And I must take one of these. So let's have a look at the map. So this is now Federation. I'm going to be using 2 things to get myself Federation. A quick lets me put a mine there, which can be handy. But I can get that quick by going up here. Going up here lets me fuel my eventual thing here and makes up for the fact that I've just lost my income from building this building. So I'm getting a science move. So this lets me upgrade a mine, but I don't want to upgrade mines necessarily. Upgrading a mine can be quite dangerous, in fact. Just because of how little ore I will then have. So if I take this, I could then upgrade a mine. I could then federate, but I would be close. I think what I do... I can definitely go there. If I federate for a quick... If I get the 8 points in a quick federation, then I can, I guess, put another mine down. It also sets me up for the following turn to put a mine down on... for 3 points instead of for 2 points. But I think that's much of a muchness. Interestingly, this is actually a thought that I hadn't really had, is it might be worth Gaia forming now. So it might be worth taking that, going into the Gaia forming, federating for a quick, going here with my Gaia former, building here. So build here, quick here. Ugh, they've got 4 quicks, so they can and they can turn stuff into money. They can take that from me, but yeah, this is gonna seem weird, but because next round is getting points for going onto green planets, I actually think it's that. It just guarantees me some points next turn, and it's a way of getting myself out of this kind of hole that I'm currently in. So I can come here, they've just taken that one. Okay, they've taken the tech tile. They've gone up the nav range, which gives them another quick back, so they can still do stuff. Oh, they've got the money into points. Where have they just done that? Here. Okay, I can get 2 for 1. That works. That actually works quite nicely. So I definitely want to exchange and go 1, 2 into that. That just gets me enough money to kind of do stuff, but more importantly, it lets me federate with tokens that aren't as useful. So here, I'm doing this, and I'm definitely not touching this planet here, because this green planet might end up being connected over here. If I'm in a good position, it might be the case that I can get this planet over here. So I can do this, and I think I take the 8 points in the quick, just because points are very useful. Any extra points I get is useful. Quicks are hard to come by for me for the time being. So yeah, this is, I think, quite handy for me. In hindsight, I probably should have not upgraded that one and upgraded this one into the thing, because then this one can become a big building by itself and I can federate this one. That was probably a mistake in hindsight, because I don't want too many of them, but yeah. So if I take that, I will be on... How many mines do I have? How many mines do I already have out? Yeah, so I do want the extra mine, because I've already got 3, so I want a 4th out, because only having 3 is not very useful. The quick is definitely what I want. Yeah, they've been getting all sorts of power the entire game. I've been starved of it. Okay, other people are starting to go up these science tracks now, so sadly I'm going to be losing out on some value. But before I lose out on value, are you likely to upgrade anything? No, I can't see you upgrading anything. So I think this pops over here. So what's more likely to think? So that'll be 4, 5, 6. I just need 1 more. Whereas, or if I go over here, it'd be 4, 5, 6. I'm planning on doing that one. I don't have to do that one, actually. I can just do this one, and I can have 4, 5, 6, 7, and build that next turn, and have another federation here, and then jump. Yeah, okay. So I have convinced myself that I'm going to jump myself over here. If they now upgrade this, I'm going to be a bit upset, but yeah. Okay, so they've all taken this. So I'm going to start falling behind points-wise if I'm not careful. So I definitely turn that into a coin. And then sadly I'm going to have some unuseful bits here. But I go here. Yes, I know I'm using some things that would get value elsewhere, but so be it. I want to get some green planet for next turn. Yeah, so I'm now, I think, very likely to win the not be high on research one. I'm getting... I'm 3rd, actually, so they're not spending their science yet, but yeah, as it stands, I think I'm only likely to get 1 more. Okay, I pass... I'm probably only going to get 1 more research tick, and that'll be to get this 2 ore at some point. Maybe this quick, I'm unsure, but it's only going to be these two, I reckon. Yeah, I think it's too late now to consider this one. So I think I only want one more of the. I only want this. So I'm thinking about how I'm getting this. One of these two. I probably use a quick. To get with this research. So when I pass, what am I passing on to? Passing on to the points. That's getting myself a 6th ore. Can be handy. Getting myself the extra power gen. Less handy because I'm only getting 2 new tokens. So because I'm only getting 2 new tokens, I can only spend 6 power charge. So getting extra power charge is not so useful. This is useful because it's points, and points, as we've mentioned, are very hard to come by in this game. In this scenario, this gets me the range, which might, if I then use that on a, and then I use my research on a quick, I can then go, okay, so that's going to be 1, and then I can move over here. It's going to be 2, 4, 5, and then I can use my range extender, come here, and then I can Gaia form here. Yeah, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Famous last words. But I think the range extender is actually going to be useful. I actually think the range extender is going to be useful. Don't you dare suddenly give me power now. Okay, that's fine. That rules that out, which means this is not going to be involved. I was thinking, an outlandish play would have been going here to here to here as a really, really adventurous one, but that's just not going to happen now. But yeah, my economy is definitely going to start falling behind because I'm just not allowed to go up certain technology tracks that I would otherwise go up. But that's just the way things work. So I think let's have a look at the federations. Which federations are there? There's still 3 of those left. That's fine. So the reason I'm looking at these ones and not this big 12-pointer is purely because I think that these ones are more likely to pay. Obviously, science not so much. These ones are far more likely. These 3 are far more likely to pay off for me in the long run in terms of the resources they gain me this early. In the last round, I'm going to be taking this if I federate because I'm not going to need the resources that they give me probably to get more points. There's no way that they're going to be worth more than 4 points in that last round. This early on, getting kind of that extra thing built now in round 4 is likely to help. And I don't want any tech moves. I definitely want to build my second. I definitely want to build to get this turn. I cannot wait any longer. In fact, I mustn't wait any longer because I will lose points for it next turn. So this turn, I'm going to be getting 2 tech moves, and that's going to be the rest of my tech moves for the entire game. So for that, I need 3 ore, and then I'm going to be building 2 mines for 4 and 5 ore. So I've got enough ore. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 2 more money. So the reason I'm talking this through is I've got this 4 things here. So what am I using this for? I need some more money. As a result, it just seems sensible to me to take the 7 money. Even though the dig would be handy, I can't actually utilize the diggers at the moment. Just because I can't take the double dig. The double dig would be going here, without a doubt. I don't have a quick to extend my range. And so I can't take the double dig because I've only got 4 and I've got nothing in bowl 2 to split off. So yeah, it seems sensible to me to take the 7 money. I'm just rationalizing it to myself before I go too quickly. But that money is definitely what I need in order to get the 3 and 5 to build that upgrade this turn. Okay, that's gone. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, this late into the game, it's a shame that, you know, I don't get the power gen there, but that is, it's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. And that is a very interesting one, because that's 3, 6, 7, so they're going up, you know, they're going to be their federation now. Very nice and easy. I now use my research to go up here. I cannot risk losing this, so because this is important to me. How likely am I to actually get a much more power charge? I'll take it, but I'm not so sure about it. Genuinely, what I might do strangely, because I've just noticed that... no, these guys can take it. What range are they on? No, they're only on one range. They actually can't take it. They would need a second range. Yeah, none of the other people can actually take it with the number of quicks they've currently got. So I'm actually not at risk of losing this yet. So I think strangely, before I kind of get all of this nonsense, I need to upgrade this. So I know that might sound silly, but while I've got 6 here, I can then just pop something down here. Okay, yeah, people are, you know, overtaking me on points now. Where's that gone? Yeah, that's gone here. It's fine. I was never going to get that one. They've gone there. It's fine. I want to go here. I've got the range extender, I believe, right? Yeah. And I'm using the range extender to get here. Just making sure I don't fluff my lines. And the reason I'm using my range extender to get here is that it's... to get here is that I can then jump across. And if I jump across here, then I can go and get... So that's going to be, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a federation. I can jump across here and have 3, 4... So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't need to upgrade any of those. And I can jump across again. Just make sure I don't run out of mines. It's something I often forget. 1, 2, 3... yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would have one more mine that I could then jump across with. So I go here, because I've got 2 range. I can reach there. So I do that. And that means my power generation for the rest of the round is more efficient. This is definitely a very tough one, because it's just so antithetical to how I normally play this game in terms of science. And the Terrans are going to make my life more difficult by not spending any of their science in how I would like them to. Yeah, so build a mine with +3 bonus range. So, because I've only got 2 range, I need the bonus range to get here. The alternative is to go here. The alternative is to go there, and that opens up other options to me. So I federate here with these 3, and then swap over here, and I would have 4, 5, 6, and then all I need to do is upgrade one of these to a trading post, which I will want. Yeah, okay, actually, I have convinced myself. Going over here is more likely to yield a federation in round 6. Because I can go here, with a single dig, and then here, and have another 3 building fed. So actually, yep, I've convinced myself. I think this is sensible. Because I've done this. And it doesn't need to be a 3 building one. If I can get here before the Terrans do, which is not guaranteed because the Terrans are going up that Gaia forming track. They haven't actually gone it. So I can get to here before them, possibly. So I will have to build that early on. Sadly, yeah, that taking that power was incorrect. I am now realizing, but so be it. So I do this. What's going to be more valuable to me? The money, almost certainly the money. Yeah, it's going to be the money. Because I'm not going to have any income next turn. And I need to be able to fuel that 8-pointer one. So if I can get that 3 times. So I want this. Right. What do I think is my best bet? Is it the 2 ore? Or is it the 2 money and a power gen? If it's 2 money and a power gen, that could be interesting. 2 money and a power gen is interesting because it gets me kind of half funding this points. If it's the ore, so yeah, the problem is that I'm not getting any money next turn. Unless I take one of these 2 tiles, but then I'm losing out on points. No, points. So I need to find a way of getting points, getting my money gen up to fuel this effect. What is now, it's going to be 8, 16, 24 points tech tile, hopefully. So that's kind of like akin to getting the top tile, but everyone else has also been using that already. So I now need to really consider. I suppose I've got 3 science per turn, which I'm not going to use on science anymore because that's going to cost me points. So I'm going to be using that to fuel it. Yeah, okay. So I'll be using that to fuel it. All 3 of these have yet to pass, so I'm going to be... I've still got actions to delay, so I can... They don't have anything that they can do, I don't believe. I think both of the actions... Yeah, both of the 3 actions are gone, so they must pass. So the very, very worst, I'll be getting this tile here, which isn't great for me because I've not got any out yet, but I plan to build some of these next round. The Xenos do have stuff they can do this turn, so they're not necessarily going to pass. These guys also can't pass very easily, so I need to figure out... this is probably worth more because I can't utilize this power charge because of just where things are in my power bowl. And I can use the extra ore. I can always use the extra ore. So I will hopefully be taking this, though the Hatchalas might jump onto it before I can. But as a result, I think I've convinced myself. 9 ore. Okay. This is tough. What is more valuable? I actually think that's more valuable. I've convinced myself. Hatchala, sorry, before. Oh, I didn't realise they had the power in to be able to do that. So I get 1 power gen for free. Which is fine. Yep, so they pass, and I... Oh, okay, that is a shame. So I'm going to do that. And then I need to move my building. Yeah, actually, I've still got 2 more actions to do, so I can't actually jump on it like I was thinking. I'm going to go here, because if they upgrade either of these, it's a way of getting power. They've taken the free dig, actually, so I've got choices. Right, I've now got either mines or trading posts. I'm not getting the big building one, that's fine. I'm going to be doing this. So we're getting some points. And then it's my turn. Right. So, which of these 2 do I think is going to get me the most points? I would, if I build 3 of these, which is not likely, it's certainly possible, but it's not likely, because I also want to build one of these. If I can get the free dig, I'll use it there. So I'll probably be building 2 of them. So what's actually worth more points is this one. I'm almost certainly going to be ending up. So I've got 2 more mines I can build. I'm likely building at least one of them. So that was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -2 maybe for potentially 2 of these, which would be 5. So that's going to be 5 points versus I would only get 4 points if I get 2 of these down. So however weird it is to really care about that 1 point, it's so important in this points shy thing that I think it's important that I take this. Oh, okay, I think I made an error. That's fine, it's fine. This should have gone here, because I need a cheaper upgrade, but it's okay. Yeah, that was an error on my part. This needed to go here. Ah, that's a shame. Right, I will place this down. So the reason I'm doing that is I want to place this before they can. I'm now guaranteed myself this. Oof, okay, that was unexpected for sure. So the free dig is gone, right? Yep, and the double dig is also gone. Ugh, okay, so be it. So that's not happening, which means I definitely need to secure this so I can, in round 6, have a 3 building one. So I definitely do this. Oh, I don't do it yet though. I first exchange those 2 into money. Given that if we look at the actions here, the one that I really want is gone. I don't care about that one. This one's also gone. I suppose I could have done this, but let me consider. Do I take an extra turn to get 1 more token? Is 1 more token really valuable to me? Maybe. Maybe it is. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have 6, 7 here. And then, yeah, they can't take it yet. They still need to build that. So they cannot take this from me. I think it's still safe for me to take the extra action. I know this is going to seem weird, but I'm going to instead burn 1 to get 2. Just because the extra ones might be handy at some point. Yes. But I don't want to take more than that. I will not take another 2 for 1. Because now I take this. So now you can see I've beaten them to the punch because they couldn't take that. This is now mine. I've now got 1, 2, and I just need a 3rd planet. That's all I need. So this was a mistake. This, I'm going to change it with over here just so I can get the cheaper upgrade. It's what I need to do. Because I don't have a quick to do this. So yeah, that was an error on my part. Part of me was hoping they would give me more power, but so be it. But I absolutely need to get the cheaper one here. So other people are now federating. So this is where my current thing that looks like points lead is not, because I've already made 2 of my federations. So I need to get 2 more federations this game. Like it's a must. So I need this. It would be nice to have this, but it's not necessary. But this gets upgraded here. And now you can see 4, 5, 6, 7. I've now got another federation. Yeah, so they've had to go down here now instead of kind of cramping my style over here. Okay, that's gone back in. I still need to federate this turn. So I don't need to federate this turn, but it would be useful to federate this turn just because it means I can not lose economy next turn. I want that free dig though. The Terrans don't have much to do this turn left. That free dig would be handy, but it's not necessary. It's something I need to get into my head. It's useful, but not necessary. What I am going to do next turn is appear over here. Need to make sure that I don't... Yeah, I've still got 2 mines left. So, yeah, go here and here. And turn that into a trading post, a trading station. And that's it. Okay. So as long as I can get this, I'm safe. So either of these 2 is fine by me. So a single dig or a double dig, or using the range extender. If I can get either of those, I'm happy. Right. Now that I've got that settled in my head, and if I don't get the range extender, I'll take a quick. So I think because they've already passed, if I have a look here, they've already passed onto this. And so I would be happy with this, this, or this. So and I'm guaranteed at least one of them, because only 2 of them can be covered by these 2. And he must, the Terrans, he must remove this. This AI. I don't know why I'm gendering an AI, but this AI must move if they are going to move onto one of these 2. It would be nicer for me to move on to points. Points is obviously better. But yeah, I think to guarantee myself that final federation, I definitely want one of these. I guess unless, of course, my federation here is for a quick, at which point I have guaranteed it for myself here. If my federation here is for a quick, then actually I can take a points tile. And this is why we consider our options when we're playing. So, I've got all sorts of stuff here. While I'm thinking. I'm going to do this, because I definitely want to do that before I forget. And yeah, I had a feeling it was going to help give me information. So they've passed onto that points tile, which is sensible. So now if I want a points tile, I have to outlast them. I'm still federating. Federating onto a quick gets me there. Federating onto... Yeah, I don't care about Gaia forming next turn. So I'll have all of those tokens next turn, so that's fine by me. So I've got, yeah, so I do this, jump over here for my, so I've got 2 actions there, federating and jumping. Okay, so because I can federate and then jump, I am going to do this and then federate. I have not been blessed by the it's not been very kind to me. Sorry, that it should go there, just because you don't want it to touch any other planets if you don't have to. Just rule of thumb, you don't want to rule yourself out. I know, not that it matters, but in general, you try not to. I think I gain the 8 points and a quick, just because it guarantees me this. No, yeah, without having to go onto a non-points. I've already used my move, haven't I? Yeah, because I misplayed. So next turn, I move over here. So I'm just looking. I would only get 4 points from that. I've just realised that I must pass next action. That's not true. I can try and do some economy-based stuff. I could just hard dig that, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose I could hard dig that. Given that my income is actually quite high. Yep. Okay. Now that I've said that. Yeah, and then I would still have 1 more mine left over the following turn. To do that. Yeah, okay, I think that's sensible. I apologise if you heard my email sound. Yeah, so I do this. Next turn, this jumps over here. And I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 if I need it. Or, well, yeah, okay. So I actually don't need the quick. Which means 12 points actually might be the strongest thing I can do. Because I don't think that quick is going to be worth 4 points for me. I cannot see it being worth more than 4 points, so I take the 12 points. I don't care about having a green tactile, so I take that. And one of the reasons I also take that is there's only 2 of them, and I might want that also next round. Like I mentioned in the final round, I'm going to want that. And I want definitely at least one of them. So I'm going to put a mine down here, because the excess ore I don't care about. I'm getting enough ore. But passing for mine points this turn, I want to get as many mines out as I can, because I'm passing for those. So in fact, it might be worth putting one down here, just because it is worth more points. Part of me is, yeah, okay. So now I can pass on to points. Oh, actually, before I pass, I'm generating 5, and I'm only getting 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I don't need to convert down. I don't need to, but if yes, I do if I'm taking the big building points. So I do convert down in my exchange. can't do it mid-action. So I will undo the pass. I will exchange that because I'm going to be overproducing, but that's fine. But this is worth points, and points means prizes. So I know I'm going to be overproducing power, but so be it. So realistically, what I need to do this is to turn this into a trading station, teleport this over here, and then I've got my Federation and I'm done. So yeah, okay, I'm happy. And that's as many points as I can get. But I'm hoping that the Xenos don't kind of screw me out of the 7 money, because they can do that. I'm hoping they don't, but they can. 3 digs gone. Don't mind, as long as that 7 money is still there. 2. Okay, we're good. So my next action is to take the 7 money. Because that's going to fuel my 8 points. Because I need 3 for the build of the trading station, 2 for that, so it's 5, and then I need another 4 for the points. So I needed at least 2, and that's kind of sorted me out. So now, I think I am having a fairly short last turn, and everything else is going to be basically... Oh, I forgot about the science. So I didn't necessarily need to do that, but it's still better than nothing. I wasn't going to utilize it any other way. So first, this gets upgraded on the cheap, because there's no point spending a point when I don't have to, because 3 money is a point. Yep. Nope. Don't need anything. So I don't need the points. So if they upgrade this now, I can get a free power. Free power is fine. Okay, so now I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a bit awkward for me, because I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm actually going to be equal with them. That's 1, 2. Yes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I'm not going to do that well. This is a shame. Okay. This might seem weird. Yeah, so I can't actually get more than... Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, maybe I should have thought about that. Well, okay, so I'll be sharing 15 points, because there's no way that they're getting a huge number of satellites. So I'll be sharing... Oh, they've also got 10 satellites. I hadn't... Where's their 10 satellites coming from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay, I miscounted. Oh, that's a shame. I may have messed up there then, because that's a huge number of points that I'm going to be missing out on now. Cause I can only get 9, so I'm guaranteed 6 here. That's a massive swing against me, so I'm not going up here. So that's 15 points for me. I'm losing out here, which is a big loss. That's a shame. Yeah, because no matter what I do, I haven't got any more mines. Actually, I don't necessarily have to jump across it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I actually don't swing this across. This is going to be weird. But I do this. And it's a big enough swing of points that it's worth me doing it this way. And then I can build this. Because I've just given myself another mine. I will still have the full money that I need in the form of to get the 8 points. So this is a big enough swing of points. I need to beat. It's not just that I need to get points myself. I need to take points off of them. So now I'll be getting 1, 2, 3 things. So that'll take me up to 10 as well. So it becomes a much bigger swing in my favor. So it's something that I needed to have happen. So there we go. So I spend 3 tokens. Unfortunately, that's gone. So be it. Yep, form that federation for 3 tokens, which gets me to 10. And the one that gets me the most points is this, because I can't see how I'm getting any more points elsewise. Does this take me over a threshold? So I'm spending 4. I've got 3, so no. Yep, so the extra point that I get from that is a point. It's a shame that the 12-pointer was gone, but it was going to happen. So now, yeah, suddenly that swing is massively in my favor. So instead of being 9 points down on each of red and yellow, who are really realistically my biggest competitors, I've now basically leveled the playing field. So instead of losing 9 points to both of them, I've effectively gained. I basically made that a moot point. So that was so important to me. So now I can do this to get my 8 points. So I think I still lose, unfortunately, because their endgame scoring is too high. This is just too much for me. But I think this was a good go of it. I may as well use this now, because, have a bit of fun. So just kind of pop over here, because why not? And then pass. Yeah, so thought so. I was a lot closer than I thought. That's a really, really difficult one. So you can see how difficult that is. That even when I was passing and stuff, maybe I didn't play optimally. There must be something involved. I was very unlucky insofar as just because of the way AI plays early on, I got no leech in the entire game from yellow until it was far too late. I think by the time they offered me, it was round 6 and I wasn't accepting anymore. And I also didn't get leech from these guys until round 6. So because of that, because I just wasn't getting leech from these two, my early engine wasn't taking off at all. And because my early engine wasn't taking off, I just could not get this. I could not get this points total any higher. Oh, it's 6 points in it. That's really tough. I do think that that's possible. I think maybe I needed that. So I only got this tile here in round 4. And it might be that you need it earlier. But I feel like you need this one first. You just absolutely need this one first for this ambass strategy to work. Just to make this, I just about managed to get the 4 federations to work. And when I did make them work, it was fine. Yeah, but that's 6. That's a shame for the 6 points to not quite go in my favor there. But you can see, if you have a look at research, how important it was for the Xenos and Hajhalis, because Xenos got 4. They got 16 points purely on tech here, and they had 3 Federation tiles, which got them 9 points of passing on that last turn. So that's 25 points that I'm just didn't. That's 25 points that they got that I'm denied access to, which I would otherwise normally at least vaguely have access to. And these guys got a huge load of points from that tech tile, because when they placed it down, they had at least 5 mines out, so that's 10 points there. And they also managed to, if you have a look at the research, they also managed to get 8, 16 there. So that's, again, another 25, 26 points that I couldn't get access to that they did. So you can see how important, I think this is instructive, though, in how important science is to any game plan that you have. What I would normally do is I would get access to some of these to get, at least 8, 16 points in science, like these guys have. Get access to one of these tech tiles, which is usually another at least 10 points. So that's at least 25 points. And without that 25 points, I can see that it's a lot harder to win a game of Gaia Project. And that's a shame, because I thought I was doing well enough with that constraint. I'm trying to think what I would do differently if I were to play this again. I think getting to 2 range early is important. Maybe taking this when I did was not the correct move. Maybe I should have gone up here earlier to get the extra ore, but all it is an extra ore per turn, and so if you're not taking it early, then it's not going to pay off. Maybe I needed to take this at some point earlier, but when you're doing that, you're not able to fuel this because you're expending a so that's really hard. I'm just trying to think what I would do differently next time, because just being denied access to all of these points up here is really tough. You can see there's points here, there's the passing with fed tile points, there's this passing here points, there's for each sector you're in points, there's this 12-point tile that you're just not getting, as well as the points for being above that line. And the power generation that you get for going above that line is really useful for fueling your economy. That is really tough, and I'm going to have to really think about how I can play that better. Hopefully this was instructive to other people. I think on difficulties 1 and 2, this is absolutely kind of doable, just because the AI won't be quite as good at gunning for points towards the end if they're on easier difficulty. But on that hard mode, that's actually quite tough. Another big swing. I think one of my big mistakes. In fact, I think my biggest mistake is not working out how many satellites they would have. If I had done that, then I would have gone for 11 satellites, because that is the biggest swing. It's only a 3-point swing, actually, saying that. It's only a 3-point swing, because then I get 18, and then these two each get 15. So it's actually only a 3-point swing, so it doesn't necessarily help me as much as I think. No, they don't. They each get 12. What am I saying? They each get 12. So that is the 6-point swing. That is the 6-point swing. But then they have more resources left over than me. Just convert it down to money and 5 points. I can't remember what I actually genuinely cannot remember what the tiebreaker is in Gaia Project. It's been so long since the game has ended in a tie that I would have to actively look up what the tiebreaker is in Gaia Project. Oh, that seems such a shame that I've lost out by 6 points, because one more here gets me that 6 points, because I go up by 6 points and actually they stay at 12, because it's 15 plus 6. Sorry, it's 12 plus 6. Actually, they go down to 9. It's a 9-point swing. I win if I get 11. That's the difference. Okay, now I've played this again. I think the difference is I need to make sure I get 11. And so now I need to work out where I go for that. I guess I need to make sure I get this. And then you have an extra pip here. And then you can do this thing over here. Oh, that's really tough. That's really, really, really tough. And if we look at these, I got 2 8-pointers and a 12-pointer. So there's only one that isn't kind of high in points, but I needed this money when I took it, and you can see that I have really effectively used my money. I only have 4 stuff that can become money left over, maybe 5, and I've ended up with 0. So I needed that 6 money to make my strategy work. So it's not like I didn't utilize that money. That's a really, really tough one, and I'm really curious to give that another go at some point. But that was my attempt, looking and going blind. Now that I've played it, I might be able to have a better go of it in future. Hopefully you found this video, whilst I didn't win, instructional and useful, because it might inform you how to actually win this in future. I think just if AI plays slightly differently, so that blue doesn't just focus down here, blue not being up here in the entire game really, really hurt my economy early on. Red starting up here and not next to me also hurt my economy early on. And yellow kind of jumping around and darting around and not upgrading near me the entire game until it was a bit too late for me. That was also very bad on my economy. So not getting any power from these guys really hurt my economy. And I think, that goes slightly differently, and I can pop off a bit earlier. I can start focusing on where to get points. Maybe I get the 7-point tile before it gets to too late in the game. But yeah, maybe I can take the higher point tile instead of needing that 7.6 money. I can take that 7 money from a power action earlier, and if I can take it from a power action earlier, then I can get a whole bunch more points by taking the 12 point tile, which is 5 points difference. And then I just need to find an extra point from somewhere. So yeah, it's entirely possible that this is doable, but it's very difficult, and you need to do that without having on the hardest difficulty, without having more than 4 research total. And you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would have, even if I had succeeded on this one, let's say I got 7 more points, I would have failed if we were playing on the more difficult level, on level 4. So working that out on level 4, I'm going to really, unless the one that you start with doesn't count, which I don't know why it wouldn't. If the one you start with doesn't count, then I'm fine. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 moves since the start of the game. But I imagine the one that you start off with up here still counts towards your the kind of levels of technology for that hard one. But yeah, that's a shame. Hopefully that was still useful, and I'll speak to you next time.